last week we spent just under £32,000 on our very first Transporter T6.1. If you watched last week's episode, you'll know that I sweetened the deal with this little VW split screen head cup as well. Since then, we've had the van delivered to the workshop. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the design elements, the costings, and also some of the decision making that goes into producing a van that's not only innovative but also practical. We want to produce something that's a little bit different, but we don't want to sacrifice its functionality just for the sole purpose of being different. So if you're passionate about camper vans, dream of owning one yourself one day, or just want to see the process behind transforming a bog standard van into a dream camper, then watch on, because we're doing just that, but we're putting our own little camper twist on it.
So I have to introduce myself. My name is Marcel, Brazilian guy.
Hello, I'm Jamie.
I'm Nathan, do a bit of everything around here. Used to be an upholsterer in my former trade, carrying some of them skills over to this. Try and bring my experience. I built myself a tour camper van.
Yeah, I help do all the journey. I do all the journey work.
When it comes to camper vans and building them, do you prefer the smaller ones or the big ones?
Loving the small ones at the minute. Just because it's like your daily drive, and then you can also use as your camper vans on the weekends. It's a nice balance between the both of them.
I enjoy the bigger ones only because they don't bang me head as much.
Oh yeah, I prefer myself a big one because we've got family, kids, so showers is important for us. Of course, a lot of people want these small ones, but
what do you reckon the biggest challenge is going to be?
There's so much to choose from, different ways to do it, different layouts. As I was saying to Tom, it'd be good if the pop top went that way, so you could stand at the back and have your kitchen at the back and have your bed at the front. Our pop top goes that way, that way.
The biggest challenge, the fact that we're putting like our own camper spin on it. When you see the smaller vans, they're all CNC'd and stuff. They're very preset and probably a little bit easy to fix. As we're doing it all ourselves, it's going to take a lot more like measuring, adjusting, stuff like that really.
The main sort of thing that we need to decide today, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the belted seats in the back. The standard thing is like a rock and roll bed or a rib bed. 2 seats that'll fold out to create a bed in the back. There is other options like rib do a single seat, so we could put them to the outside with a central walkway, kitchen at the back. This sort of decision on the seats is going to determine what we can or can't do with the rest of the build in terms of like the cabinetry and the kitchen area and things like that. So yeah, today's decision, what bed we're putting in the back. But can't make that decision on an empty stomach, so we're going over to the cafe. The things are, well, I want to keep 5 belted seats in there, so 3 in the front and we're putting 2 in the back. So the predicament we're in, can we design something different that still functions well, or do we just try and make it, you know, go with the rock and roll bed but try and make that particular layout a little bit different? The further to the back of the van you get, the less headroom you get with the pop top.
Remember the one we done where fitted the seat to the frame, but then we boxed it in as well, so it's still a seat that you can use day to day.
A goosey folding seat, what we put in there. There you go. There you go. If that's the front seat swiveled backwards there, a seat in the back here. So this is sort of your dining area. Is there something on the market where the back of this seat can fold down like this, and then say you had a kitchen here, but it was on like runners? That comes down, the kitchen area slides over the seat, and then when you're not using the kitchen, you can push that back, flip the seats back up. This is your dining area. Let's look at some seats. 200mm. Give yourself 250mm depth. Kitchen sinks are probably only around about 150 to 200mm. And you've got the dimensions It's just whether or not there's a seat out there that can be folded down, can be slid over it. And obviously the only other thing to consider then is storage. Partway through this now, I say partway through, we're at the beginning stages, so we've obviously cut the windows out. Even when we get the roof on, we'll leave the windows out so daylight comes in, the lads can work a little bit easier. We're just trying to figure out what's gonna work with this rear seating stroke bed area. There's a kitchen area that's on drawer slides that slides over a bed that's folded out of the way. Once you want to use the seat, slide the kitchen out of that way, flip the seat up, and then you get a dining area in this front section. This comes forward, and then you cook here. You've got some units there already, and then when you want to sit and eat, you slide your kitchen back that way, you flip your seat back up, and you've got 5 seats around this area then.
Hard to think in terms of like where the gas tank is. Obviously on a retractable bed, it's a liability at the end, like gas leaks and stuff.
They're making the kitchen retractable. Let's try and make the bed retractable and fix the kitchen over here. Hello. Yeah, just sort of battling with myself on every different option. Rock and roll bed, units down the side, but it's been done so many times. The rib beds, double bench seat here up the top, driver's seat here, potentially have a single rib seat there and a single rib seat there, and then that becomes 2 twin beds. There wouldn't be much for us to be able to do with that, to put our own, spin on it. Thinking now, thing what you were saying before about the kitchen that slides back and forth, but as Nathan pointed out, making the kitchen slide, you're creating potential headaches because you've got gas pipes, water pipes, electrical wires that also need to slide with it. If we take the kitchen and fix the kitchen in one position, and then let's make the bed slide out, a slim unit on this side, your sort of standard kitchen area here. I've been thinking of all sorts of different ideas for the layout of this van, and that's all part of the process. Coming up with ideas, but then you think of one and then there's a reason why it doesn't quite work. We've basically come to a decision now on what the layout's going to be. It'll be a fixed folding double seat in the back, units along one side, fixed kitchen area, and I think we're probably, banking that one, like, and that's what it's gonna be. I was hoping to keep the costings below 12k with this particular build, but after today, I think that might creep up to more like 15. Who knows, maybe even more. I've got a tendency to get carried away when I start getting excited on these camper van builds. So as we bring this one to a close, today's been a bit of a mad day. Don't feel like I've got that much done, but I've also got to appreciate the time and effort we spend in the planning stages can also save us massive amounts of time, effort, money and heartache during the build stage. So although it's been frustrating at times, I also know how important it is. So my advice to you as well is, if you're building a van, take your time, plan everything through thoroughly, think about all the knock-on effects that could potentially occur, and yeah, get it right the first time. So I just want to say another massive thank you to anyone who watched last week's video, interacted with it. We had a few comments come through as well, which obviously always massively appreciated. Our mates down at North Wales Campers left a comment in there sort of expressing their dislike to the rock and roll bed, so you'll be happy to know that we haven't gone with that option and we are doing something a little bit different as you requested. So yeah, anyone else watching this video, if you want to drop your thoughts, your comments, your questions down below, at the end of next week's video, I'll jump on and answer any questions that you have got for me. So yeah, thanks again and take it easy. See you next week.